Hey people, it's Nias talking. Now, I would like to thank African Archives and Instagram page for posting about this. So, this is the source is blackpast.org. Charles Jackson French, 1919 to 1956. Petty Officer First Class Charles Jackson French was hailed as the hero of the Solomons and the human tugboat after a heroic rescue in the Pacific during World War II. Along with Dory Miller, who received the Navy Cross of Valor during the attack on the fleet at Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. French was one of the most celebrated black sailors during the war. Charles French was born on September 25, 1919, in Foreman, Arkansas. After the death of his parents, he lived with his older sister, Viola, in Omaha, Nebraska. French enlisted in the U.S. Navy in 1937 and served 4 years. He received an honorable discharge on November 11, 1941, but re-enlisted after Pearl Harbor. French was assigned to the mess kitchen as an attendant. Along with Steve Dorr and steward, mess attendant was one of the few occupations open to African American men in the Navy. And I want to point this out. This is another thing. People take pride in serving in the military. And for the longest time, no matter what they were willing to do, they would say, well, you get the lowliest jobs. Hey, wait. This is your thanks for serving your country. On the night of September 5th, 1942, French was on board the USS Gregory, a destroyer training ship when it was sunk by the Japanese Navy near the Solomon Islands. In the aftermath, French helped 15 wounded survivors from the ship onto a life raft. Fearing that the raft would drift towards the shore where Japanese troops were located, French towed the raft of wounded survivors toward a different island. He swam between 6 and 8 hours in shark-infested waters before being rescued by Marines in a Navy landing craft. It was Ensign Robert N. Adrian, the only officer from the bridge of the Gregory to survive, who told an Associated Press report about the rescue. He also recounted the narrative on the NBC radio program. It happened in the service. Although Ensign Adrian received the Purple Heart for being wounded in action during the attack, French received a letter of commendation for meritorious conduct in action instead of a medal. French made public appearances after the rescue, including attending a Creighton University football game with his sister in 1942. He was celebrated in the black press and was even the subject of a syndicated comic strip. French was also the only African American to appear on World War II patriotic trading cards issued by Gum Incorporated. After his military service, French suffered from alcoholism and depression. He died on November 7, 1956, in San Diego, California. He was only 37 years old. He was survived by his sister Viola. And I just want to stop right there. Now, for people who don't know, the GI Bill was a bill that was passed, I think, just after World War II to allow returning servicemen to claim educational benefits. But black servicemen, more often than not, were not able to. For a variety of reasons, sometimes their military service records were sabotaged so people couldn't prove that they had served in the military. In many cases, they would say, okay, you can get the military benefits, but what school will take you because of extreme segregation? So you may not be able to go to any school anywhere near you, and that makes it unaffordable, or for a variety of reasons. Who's to say that the denial of his military benefits, which he quite likely probably suffered from, I don't know from the information here, helped cause his alcoholism and depression? And I say again to people saying, oh, I want to serve in the military. Listen, this is their thank you. This is how they will reward you. They don't care. You will give your life, your body, your mental health, and then you will be thrown to the wolves when you're finished, just like poor Officer French. Well, actually, you know what? I'll call him Officer French. He may not have been a commissioned officer, but he deserves to be one anyway. And like I said, if you want to serve in the U.S. military, do it. But understand, they don't care about you. Even like the song Michael Jackson said, I just want to say they don't really care about us. Anyway, that's enough. Since 2018, there has been renewed interest in recognizing Charles French's heroism more appropriately. In June 2021, he was honored by the USA Swimming at the Olympic Swimming Trials in Omaha. Later that year, Nebraska Free U.S. Representatives Don Bacon, Jeff Thornberry, and Adrian Smith co-sponsored H.R. 4168 to rename an Omaha post office for French. In addition, Representative Bacon, retired Air Force Brigadier General, has petitioned the Navy asking for French to be considered for a posthumous Medal of Honor. It's just like one of those other ones I did about a World War I veteran. When he died penniless in the 20s after incredible bravery in the trenches of the First World War. And then decades or even or a century later, they say, well, we want to give him a medal and then we move him to Arlington. This is how they'll thank you. They won't give you anything while you're alive and it can make your life better. But when you are dead, they'll put your name on a post office. They'll give your surviving relatives who could be in poverty for all we know. And they'll say, here's a Purple Heart. Good luck with everything. Keep struggling. Anyway, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.